Hello, Norway team. One of my favorite times of the year is upon us, not only because of the seasons change, but it's also the time of year when we take time to celebrate the Norway Savings Bank culture. This year's Culture Day theme is #CelebrateYou. In reflecting on the challenges of 2020, I really can't think of a more appropriate theme. You, our Norway Savings Bank employee team, who capably have managed every pandemic obstacle that came our way. We're all excited to kick off this year's celebration of fun activities and show our appreciation for one another. But this year's Culture Day really takes on new significance. It's different this year. We've been living in unprecedented and surreal times as COVID-19 set in. Think back to March. Who could have predicted how our everyday lives would be so disrupted? As we all learned quickly, there were no resources to help us. No how to operate a bank during a pandemic YouTube video that we could consult, no book to read. But yet, you made it happen. From our frontline employees to our work from home employees, you were economic first responders, and you've worked around the clock literally to support the people of Maine, businesses, our customers, communities, and each other. We're all familiar with our brand tagline, "Live your life in color." In simple terms, what makes each of us different is what makes each of us great. Our lives have color, every struggle, every happy time, every sad time. The color may be different for each of us, but having a colorful life means that you have felt emotion. To have a colorful life means to have a life full of ups and downs, to have experienced the pain of a loss and the satisfaction of achievement and a job well done. A colorful life means you've lived life to the fullest, even during the toughest of times, such as what we've been through together in 2020. Well, we all know that there's amazing stories from the past several months that demonstrate life in color during the pandemic. Our senior leadership team would like to thank you for all that you have done and all that you continue to do to make Norway Savings Bank one of the best workplaces in Maine. And now, to get us started, we'd like to share our stories as we #CelebrateYou. It's in times of crisis that strong leaders emerge.
For me, 2020 was all about relationships. The relationships we have with our coworkers, the relationships we have with the communities where we do business, and the relationships that we have with our clients. When the pandemic started to worsen, we did everything we could to assist our employees, sending many of them home and providing them with the technology they needed to work remotely, giving them time off to deal with childcare issues, ensuring that they had PPE when they did return to work, and ensuring that we were communicating with them as much as possible. With regards to our communities, we did whatever we could to provide assistance to them, including financial assistance and donations of PPE to those in need. For our clients, we worked tirelessly to provide them with payment relief. We made over $115 million in PPP loans that enabled over 9,000 Mainers to continue to collect a paycheck, and we processed thousands of economic stimulus checks. For our clients, we worked tirelessly to provide them with payment relief. We made over $115 million in Paycheck Protection Program loans that enabled over 9,000 Mainers to continue to collect a paycheck, and we processed thousands of economic stimulus checks for our clients. And we ensured that they had uninterrupted access to the banking products and services that they rely on every day. So for me, 2020 was all about relationships, and I couldn't be more honored to be part of a team of over 300 bankers here at Norway Savings Bank who put such value in the relationships we have with our coworkers, with our communities, and with our clients. crisis is an opportunity to do the things you think you couldn't do before.
On Thursday, April 7th, at the beginning of COVID-19, and the launch of the SBA Paycheck Protection Program, an unprecedented volume of commercial loan payment deferrals, I was sensing an incredible amount of stress in my staff. I sent out an email to them that I want to share with all of you, as I think it perfectly summarizes how I felt about the bank and my team during this unprecedented time. Preceding the email, I sent out a Dilbert cartoon that seemed to perfectly describe what we were all experiencing. And since many of you can probably relate to this over the last few months, I want to share that cartoon with you now. Then, sensing that my team needed something more than my humor, I sent to them an email that said the following. All I know is that this is the hardest time of my banking career. I know that this is hard, and I am so proud of each of you for your support and care of each other, and for your care and dedication to our customers at this time of absolute crisis for so many of them. Through that all, each of you was working diligently in less than ideal situations, in very stressful situations, to help our customers get through what is undoubtedly the most challenging and frightening periods of their lives. I want to thank each of you for your hard work and commitment. I know it's not easy, as we as management don't always have the answers. I can't promise you we will have the answers. What I can promise you is that we are trying to do the very best for our customers, our employees, and our communities. And like Dilbert, our lists are long, and we are going to make mistakes, as will each of you. We will be here together to figure it out later on. All I know is that our customers and management will forgive you for our mistakes, if they were trying the very best and very honestly to help them in the way that we knew how at that very moment. You know, every day I look out my window, and I don't know whether you can see it, but Maine Medical is right behind us. And I consider that no matter how hard the day is, I think about the alternatives. I am grateful that I'm not in the unemployment line and at the other extreme, since I can see the Maine Med there. I'm grateful that none of my loved ones are there. There will be hard days ahead, but we have a great team, and we are doing everything we can to make the best of this situation for everyone. Each of you are so amazing, and don't forget that, and you are so valued. So thank you. Crisis doesn't create character, it reveals it.
So when the whole thing started, I can remember listening to a webcast that was being hosted by the World Health Organization, and they were raising the alert that we may be faced with a pandemic. And at the time I thought, no, that can't possibly be. But within a few days, it was a reality. And so I can remember reaching out to Brian and Rochelle. Do we need to do something here? Do we need to have a conversation? What do we want to say? How do we want to respond to the news that we're hearing? And at the time I thought, great, we have a pandemic plan. It's been in existence for a long time. It's going to tell us exactly what we need to do. But I think we learned really quickly that the pandemic plan doesn't account for emotion. And we learned pretty quickly that there was a lot of things we needed to do that the plan didn't include instructions on. So we essentially built our plan on the fly. I think the good thing the plan had was send your people home, equip them to work from home. And fortunately, we were able to do that. I think back to our team, our IT team, and the way they responded to sending people home with equipment. And initially we're like, we need to train them, they need some instruction. And we had one session where we had 6 people around the table and said, here's your laptop, we're going to set you up, we're going to send you home. And then we realized we have to pick up the pace, we have to do this faster. So with each iteration, each deployment of people, it was like, here's your laptop, here's your monitors. Oh, you don't need 2 monitors. Oh, go. You got to go. Take your laptop. Go do what you need to do. One of the frustrations I think we had, we would have a discussion. We would put a plan in place. We'd make that happen as fast as we could, and then the next day something new came. Something changed. The goalpost got moved, and I can remember thinking, why does the goalpost keep getting moved? We can't keep up. But in the end, we deployed almost 130 people with equipment. They're working from home, and they're doing it successfully. So thinking about why we should be celebrating this, even though it's not behind us, we initially thought we needed 2 weeks to evaluate one person's work from home environment from an information security perspective, a technology perspective. And if we've learned anything, we've figured out we don't need to take that much time. We can do things better, and we can do things faster. I commend the IT team for the effort that they put behind all the moving targets and getting people equipped, and I commend the employees who actually took equipment home. And I can imagine there was some apprehension, there was some uncertainty for everybody, but I commend everybody for being able to adapt with knowing there was a lot of uncertainty out there about, is this going to work? How is it going to go? Am I going to be able to do my job? And certainly we've learned a lot as an organization, but the biggest thing I think we've learned is we can do pretty much anything if we put our mind to it. Adversity is another way to measure the greatness of individuals.
I celebrate you.
I celebrate you.
I celebrate you.
I celebrate you.